Your journey starts here.
Welcome to the podcast, friends. My name is Frank Lotus, and I'm your host here at Iceland's Best. And we're going to just talk a little bit about what has happened since the last time I spoke to you. Now, my last podcast, we were anticipating a volcano. There were a lot of earthquakes and hundreds of earthquakes, so finally we did get an eruption. So what happened? There was a huge crevice that broke open in Grindavik, and then Grindavik was evacuated. So they evacuated the whole town. 3,000 people were all evacuated safely. Nobody was hurt. And then shortly after that, there was an eruption, and it was 10 times the amount of lava that we saw in previous eruptions. All right, so there have been 4 eruptions in 3 years. So now we're in the new. Now I'm recording this in the new year. At the time, we had 2 eruptions in the year of 2023. So now what has happened since then? The Blue Lagoon closed. There is a power station that is out near there. So you have Grindavik, and just sort of northeast or northwest of Grindavik, you have the Blue Lagoon and this power station. And so the power station, of course, they have, people there working all the time, even in light of this danger. So these guys still had to go to work. And of course, the rescue teams were out there in force, making sure everybody stayed away from Grindavik, and when they evacuated Grindavik, of course. But now, since then, the Blue Lagoon has opened, and then it closed, and then it opened again. So now they're open for business. And what they did was, Iceland, built a big wall of dirt. So if there is an eruption, that it will not. The hope is that it will not flow over this wall of dirt that has been erected to keep the lava out of the Blue Lagoon, and also keep it out of Svartsengi, the power plant. So, and also keeps it and also divert it away from Grindavik, of course. Most importantly, that's the most to lose is the town of Grindavik. So they've built this wall. So if we do get more lava, so now the lava has stopped. It went for a few days and it stopped. We were sitting I was at my wife's parents' house, and we were sitting in the living room, and we were looking out across the bay, and you could see it, and you can just see the lava just shooting in the air. We went out, and there were a lot of folks that were just coming out of their houses just to see, with their binoculars and with their camera phones and everything, and their long lenses and all different kinds of cameras, and and getting photos and that sort of thing. And it was something to see. But this definitely wasn't the tourist eruption like the ones before, because the fact that all these people in the town of Grindavik were evacuated. So that wasn't, So if you're coming to Iceland now, don't expect to see any lava flowing, because it's finished until the next time. The residents of Grindavik have not moved back into their homes. Now, some people will not be able to move back into their homes, period, because their houses were right on top of this big crevice that opened up, or they were very close, or they were damaged beyond repair by the earthquakes. So that's also a sad thing. But the Blue Lagoon is open, and they're asking that people be careful if you're driving down that way because of all the heavy machinery. I don't know if they're finished with the construction around there, building these walls yet. But please be careful when you go down there. You don't want to get hurt down there, because there is an opportunity to get hurt down there. But just be careful. Keep your eyes open. They should have everything clearly marked where you should or should not drive. And stay out of Grindavik. Don't think that you can go down there and check out the crack, because you won't be able to get anywhere near that. So all that has happened, and and then Christmas happened. We had a beautiful Christmas here. It was a semi-white Christmas. It did not snow on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, but it snowed the day after. So on the 26th, everything was covered in snow, and it was beautiful. I this year, just like every last 4 or 5 years, I went to cut down my own Christmas tree. There's a place where you can cut down your own, and they'll plant 30 trees in its place. So I did that this year. I always look forward to doing that, and then and trimming the tree and all that. And then our special Christmas in Iceland. You know, for a lot of people, Christmas is just Christmas Eve and Christmas. But for Icelandic people, it's 26 days of Christmas. You have the 13 leading up to and the 13 going away. So January 6th is the last day of Christmas. So, and in Iceland we have 13 Santa Clauses, and they start on the 12th of December. The first one comes down from Dimmuborgir. It's a place up north where the Santa Clauses live, and they come down each night one by one, and kids put their shoe in a window and they get a little gift in their shoe, or they get if they're good, potato if they're bad. So that's how that is. So you get the 13 and we call them Jólasveit. So the name Sate and Jólasveit. So it's like an English Svein, but like anyway. So you could call them Yule lads. So in English they call Yule lads or Jólasveit, or the Christmas or the Santa Clauses. And these guys are a bit of they're mischievous lot. They are. Each one has something that he does that is, I don't know. So you have, one that, he'll come in and steal the rest of the skier, and then there's one that licks all the skier off the spoon. There's one that will steal your sausages. If you have, what's called buwa, this type of sausage. It's made from either horse meat or from smoked lamb or smoked horse meat. He'll come and steal that. There's one that slams doors. There's one that's looking through the windows, looking for something to take or something to swipe. So they're a mischievous lot. And their mother is Grilla and her husband Leppalúði. And then they have a cat called the Christmas cat, or Jólakötturinn. And I call it the dysfunctional house pet. That's their dysfunctional house pet. So what the cat does is the cat roams the countryside looking for children to eat that did not get new clothes for Christmas. So legend has it, the way that came about was, kids that were supposed to do their chores, which included like knitting and sewing and things like that, you wanted to make sure you got all that done, because if you didn't get it done by Christmas, the Christmas cat's gonna come and eat you. And you don't want that. So so that's a kind of a little bit of a rundown. If you look at my Instagram page, at Iceland's Best, I have a little short story about that I posted last Christmas, and you can see what the characters look like. What the little Christmas with the Jólasveit, Yule lads look like. That's what I'm trying to say. So you go check that out there. So Christmas came and went. New Year's, every New Year's Eve we have we shoot off fireworks. That's how we celebrate. And another thing that we do, a Christmas tradition in Iceland, is we put lights at the cemetery. So that's the way to remember the loved ones that are no longer with us for Christmas. So we go down to the cemetery and order lights, and they will put either red, yellow, green, or blue lights, or any combination thereof of lights on the tombstones. And it's really something to see. So when you go out at Christmas time and you see the graveyard, you just see all these lights, just a sea of lights. And it is really, it's touching. It really is. I get, choked up when I go out there, and we have some family members that we put lights out for every year. And it's really nice. It's a really nice thing to do. So if you do come to Iceland around Christmas, look forward to, taking part in the tradition of expecting the Jólasveit or the Yule lads. Check out a cemetery. You can check out the lights at the cemetery. And then for New Year's, we let off fireworks. So the rescue teams, the Icelandic search and rescue teams, every year they sell fireworks, and the proceeds from the fireworks funds their efforts to search and rescue tourists and Icelanders alike. So if you're stuck out there and you get somewhere anywhere that they can get to you, they have it's air, land, and sea rescue. They really they do a great job, and it's all volunteer based. So all the people that are and you have people of many different skill levels that are trained to do different things, and they have different divisions. You have the air division, sea, and then you have land, and it's like a military operation the way these people are trained. You have guys that rappel off the side of a mountain. Like if you're stuck mountain climbing out there, or you're trying to steal eggs from a puffin nest somewhere on the side of a cliff, and you get stuck, and you pull out your satellite phone, or your friends are like, "Oh, he's stuck down there," and they call. They're going to come and get you. They're going to pick you off of that mountain, and they're gonna save your butt. And so they sell the fireworks, and the money goes to fund their efforts. And if you're in Iceland, I highly recommend that you support their efforts, because it's great. It's great to come to Iceland and watch all the fireworks, but it's also even better feeling to know that you actually participated somehow by buying fireworks. If you bought fireworks, or you could just donate money to the Icelandic Red Cross or to the search and rescue teams. And they did such a great job evacuating in Grindavik. It was really cool. I gave money. A lot of people gave money, and a lot of people bought fireworks this year. This year's fireworks, my goodness! You go to go to my Instagram page, you'll see, and I also posted it on my YouTube page. It's all at Iceland's Best. So you just put in at Iceland's Best on the YouTube page, on the Instagram page. You will see. What the fireworks looks like. And it sounds like a war zone. I mean, I've never been in the military. I don't know what a war zone sounds like other than in the movies, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what it sounds like. And it's pretty impressive. It really is. So all that has happened. So we had, they had the eruption, we had Christmas, New Year's now, and we're over the hump now. So I believe it's the 22nd of December is the shortest day. All right. That is when the sun is, sunrise is after 11 o'clock in the morning, and sunset is just after 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you barely have 4 hours of daylight at that time. So we're over that hump now. Since the 22nd of December, the days are getting longer a few minutes every day. So now we're getting to where the sun sets now, instead of setting just after 3, it's setting just after 4 o'clock already in just a few short weeks, where, the sun, sun sets at, like, I think it's 4:15 or 4:10 right now. It was today. And then the sun is rising just still around 11 o'clock, around 10 or 10:45, I believe, I want to say. Yeah, so we're over that hump now. The days are starting to get longer a little bit every day. Now by February and March, great times to come to Iceland, because, February is still cold and wintry, all right? But March is that real turning point. It really starts to turn. We could get a snowstorm in March. Don't get me wrong. We could get we've gotten snowstorms in April, all right? But March and April is when it really starts to turn. It's more, the days are longer. It's more of a day-night situation, rather than the extreme of mostly dark or mostly light. But you have a good bit of daylight. So when you come here, you have more time to see things. And, this is the time to start. It's still January yet. We're not even halfway through January, but, it's good to be excited for what's to come. So the next thing that's coming up is the winter celebration, and it's a time of year when Icelanders eat all these sour foods, like it's called surmatur, sour meals. And there's in all kinds of things. You have the first thing that comes to mind is the surpungur, and it's soured ram's testicles, and then you have the rotten shark, and you eat those things, and you have and hardfisker and brown bread with butter, and then there's the flat cooker, which is like flat bread. You have all these things that we eat, this time of year, and what they call in other countries they call haggis, which is it's the sheep's stomach with the minced meat inside, and rye, and you boil it, and then once it's boiled, then you slice it and you eat that, and then we have the blood pudding that's made from the blood of the sheep, and it congeals, and they also put that in a sheep's stomach sort of pouch, and it gets boiled and sliced and eaten. So all the, some people call, you have some of these foods you have to be really brave to try for the first time. And for a lot of Icelanders that are raised eating this, it's no problem. They love it, and every nationality has their traditional foods that to other nationalities would be like, ugh, yeah, I don't see how you guys eat that, and we have this other the other thing called skata, which is in English is called skate. It's like stingray, and it is putrid. Oh my goodness! And I think in Norway they call it lutefisk, but like in Iceland it is called skata, and it is, to me, I can't eat it. It is too strong. It's smells too much like ammonia. I just can't. I can't. Back in the old days before refrigeration, they would bury the stuff, and it would be urinated on, because the ammonia in the urine was something that would, help to preserve food. All right, that's a story I got. Anyways, it's all true. Believe it, it's all true. Anyways, that's coming up soon. So that's the next big sort of festival to look forward to if you're in Iceland. So that's coming up real soon, that when you eat the suramatur and everything. And and other than that, that's your recap from November to right now. And we're just I've got my fingers crossed, hoping that the people of Grindavik can go back to their homes, and hopefully this is it for the lava. They say this, these volcanic events, this is the start of a new era of volcanic events that could be taking place for, nobody really knows how long. Could be 10 years, could be 100 years. Who knows? It's the earth. There's lava down there. It comes up. Iceland is one big, you look at it, we're one big volcanic rock in the middle of the North Atlantic Ocean, and where we are, Iceland sits on top of two tectonic plates that are always moving. So one is a North American plate, and the other one is a European plate. And there's an actual place in Iceland where you can you'll be standing on North America and Europe at the same time. So the western half of Iceland basically is technically North America, okay? Because they're on the North American plate. And the eastern side of Iceland is on the European plate. And when you come to Iceland, and if you do the Golden Circle tour, one of the places where you go is called Thingvellir, and that is the site of where the two tectonic plates meet. And you can actually see this ridge. You can see it's impressive, but it's a place to go. Hit me up if you're coming to Iceland. I'd be glad to help you to plan your trip and point you in the right direction, take you on a tour. I do private tours. Talk to me, and I will give you a quote, and or if it's something that I can't provide for you, I will absolutely point you in the right direction as to where to go and what to do, what's good for you. So with that, I'm going to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for your support. Thank you for sticking with me. And I'm still getting, I'm getting emails, and thank you to all those people that are reaching out. and that have sent me messages, and to my friends in the United States that have reached out to me to, wonder, hey, you guys okay? We're hearing about, volcanoes and earthquakes, and, are you, and, the media always makes a bigger deal than what it really is. But thank you for reaching out, everyone. And with that, I'm going to say, stay tuned for the next episode, which was going to be coming up real soon. It's going to be an episode of museum visits, and I'm going to make a visit to the Rock and Roll Museum. So that's going to be an exciting episode. I can't wait to talk about that. I can't wait to see it, and I can't wait to talk about it. So with that, I'm just going to say again, thank you for listening, and tell a friend that you have a friend in Iceland.